Click the first link in the description for the best Askreddit content. Today I fucked up by filling my pockets with cucumbers. I like cucumbers a lot. They're my absolutely favorite snack food and I always try to keep them on hand. I've had a few awkward cucumber related incidents in the past, cucumbers falling out of my purse, my ex-boyfriend opening my fridge only for those noble cukes to spring forth and attack him, the same ex-boyfriend banning me from my snack of choice. The list goes on and on. Although this particular horror happened about 3 years ago, I think I've finally dealt with the trauma enough to recount this nightmare. I think most of us can agree that the TSA came straight from the depths of hell. There are very few things in life that fill me with rage, but those that do often happen to have meddled with my cucumbers. Usually, as a petite, blonde woman who is often mistaken for a child, profiling is on my side and I can breeze through security checkpoints with no issue. However, luck apparently runs out when one's pockets are laden with cucumbers. Who would fill their pockets with cukes right before heading to the airport? One may ask. Clearly only a cucumber fanatic with very poor judgment, and not enough time to cut them up for a lovely spring salad. Standing in line always makes me anxious, as I'm worried that I'll annoy the person behind me by taking too long. This is especially true for security checkpoints since you need to remove your electronics, liquids, shoes, and place them all in separate bins before getting scanned. On this particular day, I had 2 bags to manage: my laptop, camera, phone, iPad, liquids, and a whole bunch of mini cucumbers to handle. At the time, I was wearing sweatpants in which I had about 3 to 4 cukes stuffed in each pocket. Although I had planned on transferring them into my bag before even entering the airport, my nervousness mixed with anxiety must have caused it to slip my mind. Even while standing in line at the TSA, I had completely forgotten about those little green babies I harbored in my pockets. As I stepped through the scanner, no alarms went off, so I figured I was in the clear. I was wrong. A very tall, terrifying woman approached me. She pulled me aside. I had been randomly selected for the first time in my 19 years. Suddenly I remembered the cukes. I looked down and noticed the faint bulge of my pockets. My mouth ran dry. I wanted to say something, to confess, but I was frozen in place. The words wouldn't come out. The woman began her pat down, over my arms, down my abdomen, down my leg. She stopped. I knew I was done for when she asked me if I had anything in my pockets. Upon my affirmation, she asked me to remove the items. Very slowly I removed cucumber after cucumber and placed them into her outstretched hands. Her face remained like a stone-cold statue. She claimed that cucumbers were included with liquids and would need to be placed in a half-gallon Ziploc bag with my other liquids in the future. She did not return my cucumbers, but rather, I watched in horror as she deposited them in the trash. My tiny cucumber children, ripped away from me. Cucumbers are liquid? What nonsense. I was released from TSA custody and I walked away with a heavy cukeless heart. So to anyone who happens upon this, take heed and don't leave your vegetables on your person while in the Chicago O'Hare Airport, you will be robbed of them. Dr. I left my cucumbers in my pockets and the mean TSA lady stole them from me claiming they were a liquid. Frown. Are you that lady who ate 35 cucumbers a day, binge-eat cucumbers when stressed and posted on relationship advice about her BF freaking out about her addiction for cucumbers? I love a good cucumber as much as the next person, but they're just like in your pocket? With the lint? And dust from whatever else you put in there? With like your phone germs? I could never lol. But to each their own tbh. Sorry they got thrown away, that really sucks. Thanks for sharing lol. /username checks out. I love this story almost as much as I love cucumbers. Thanks for sharing this. That's just hurtful. It hurt a lot. Frown. Today I fucked up by asking a customer if they wanted bags without looking at the customer. So I work at a place that sells groceries along with just about everything else. Customers can bring in their own bags or we provide them for a small fee. It was during a very busy period and I was on automatic. When I finished with a customer, I said hello to the next and asked if they needed bags. I was wiping down the debit machine and not looking at the customer. As soon as I heard her voice I knew I had FD up. I looked up to see my least favorite customer glaring at me and winding up for a tirade. This customer is never happy. She always finds something to complain about and I had handed her an opportunity she lived to complain about: plastic bags. As I was well and truly stuck by my carelessness, I could only be grateful I was wearing a mask and my face was mostly hidden. After listening to several minutes of her lecturing me on the evils of plastic bags, I was able to scan her out and get out of this mess. Ironically, she has a habit of wrapping each item, with the exception of canned goods, in this plastic bag used for loose produce. I'm talking fruits, vegetables, boxes, chocolate bars, plastic packaged pasta ect. She must have used at least 25 of these. TL Doctor, I didn't pay attention to who my next customer was and earned myself a lecture on evils of plastic bags. Welcome to customer service. The only thing wrong with working in customer service is the customer. Now the problem is you gotta service them. If it was customer smacking, it wouldn't be so bad with customers like this. Fighting a very strong urge to go stand on my carton of eggs right now, but not sure if I can afford to be wrong. I always enjoy being Mr. Cool Guy when they ask me if they can put the dish soap with the lettuce and all, like whatever babe. Fuck her, tear her apart next time. Today I fucked up by letting my wife give me head. A little background first. We have 3 little daughters, and our house is not so big, so we have some problems when it comes to have some quality sexy time. Especially with the quarantine, all the girls being home all the time, we usually can have sex once a week, maybe twice if we're lucky, and can get a quickie in the bathroom without one of the girls interrupting us by banging on the door asking what we're doing and totally killing the mood. Lately it has been worse because we've been vacationing at my in-laws' house for a month. And when we came back, my father sent my little sister to spend a week with us and the girls. So all in all, we've pretty much had sex once in a month and a half. But yesterday my sister called me to do a weekend sleepover with the girls, so she'll be taking them for 2 days. My wife and I know what this means. Time to make up for all that missed sex. We're ecstatic. Now, another important thing. I've had a slight yeast infection in my penis for a week now, probably from when we fucked in a jacuzzi at my in-laws. So it's just a mildly itchy rash in a small patch. Been using a cream and it's been decreasing. All good. I've had it before and, as long as I use a condom with some lube inside, I can still have sex. So we dropped the girls at my sister's, and went dinner. Romantic dinner. Posh restaurant, good food, a bottle of wine and a gin tonic each, and a walk by the beach after that. We get home, to our bedroom, and I initiate an approach. But my wife's sleepy, I blame the alcohol, and not in the mood. That's okay. I know she's more of a morning person for sexy time, and we still have all day tomorrow, enough for 3 or 4 lovemaking sessions. But my wife sees my erection, she knows how much I've been waiting for this, and decides to do me a favor. As soon as I see her tying her hair in a ponytail, I know shit got serious. She starts giving me head. I'm in heaven. She's extremely good at that, like real good. I know I'm not gonna last much, which is good because she probably want to end this quickly. Now, I'm feeling a just so tiny discomfort in my dick, in the side of the rash, but I ignore it. I can take it. Then suddenly, a sting. I think maybe my wife brushed me with her teeth. Then another one. I realize now the pain is coming from the rash. As my wife starts going to town, harder and faster, the pain increases until I can barely take it. But I'm nearly there and don't wanna stop, so I just clench my teeth, grip the sheets, and endure this mix of pleasure and pain until I came. As soon as my wife stops, I'm good. Pain subsides, it's just a small itch now, and I'm in post-orgasmical bliss. It was worth it, I think. I went to the bathroom to clean myself and take a look. Well, seemed good, although it's way too red, and there are some very small, dark red, blisters in some zones. I apply the cream I've been using, and go to sleep. I don't sleep well, and I find myself scratching my dick from time to time. When I finally wake up in the morning, the itching is too much, and when I go look, it's a mess. Now the rash, it's not just a patch, it's all around, is redder than before, and the blisters have popped, so in some places the first layer of skin is peeling. As soon as I touch it, pain is all over it. So I go back to bed. My wife just wake up and got all snuggly. She puts her hand there, and I wince in pain. She asks what's wrong, and I show her and explain her everything. She decides it's better then to cancel all sex, for me, until I go to the doctor. Oh, and she also gets mad at me for not telling her the night before, and ruining our opportunity for lots of sex after so much time. So of course I had to give her oral to make it up for her, which of course is also painful because I'm having an erection with a rash. All in all, here I am, no sex, intense genital pain, an angry wife, and the prospect of not having sex for at least another month. Too long didn't read. I let my wife gave me a quick blowjob instead of letting her know it was being painful, and now I fucked up having sex with her 3 or 4 times and my penis is in intense pain. Sounds like the kids catching y'all are the yeast of your problems. Why did you let her give you head with a yeast infection? I like head as much as the next guy, but I'd pass if I had an itchy yeast rash, and so would my girl. Pro tip: don't drink alcohol when you have a yeast infection, UTI, bladder infection, etc. I don't know exactly what the science behind it is, but I know it tends to aggravate the condition. Didn't know this. I'll investigate further, cause I drink around 2 or 3 beers per day. Hopefully your wife doesn't get thrush. Sucks, bro. Yes, she does, that was the problem.